So I had thought about doing this one a little bit earlier, but at the same time I just thought I wasn't sure how to discuss this one, and at the same time I thought I just, with this whole current climate going on, um, and in all honesty, I am for Black Lives Matter, and that's all I'm gonna say. So, let's talk about Tyler Perry's Madea family funeral. The, the film was from the year 2019, so last year. It's directed by Tyler Perry, produced by Tyler Perry, written by Tyler Perry, had a budget of $20 million and a box office return of $74.8 million. So the plot of the film was not a family reunion. It was I think it was like the anniversary of someone. It's about basically an anniversary turns into a unexpected nightmare when Maydea, Joe, Aunt Bam, and other family members gather for this party, and the gang soon find themselves planning a funeral that doesn't quite go according to plan. So the cast includes Tyler Perry as Mabel, Maydea Simmons, Joe, and Brian, Cassie Davis as Aunt Bam, Patrice Lovely as Hattie Mae Love, Mike Tyson as Roy, Sierra Payton as Sylvia, Anthony and Vivian's daughter, KJ Smith as Carol, AJ's wife, David Ortega as Will, Sylvia's wife, Rome Flynn as Jesse, Courtney Burrell as AJ, Jenna Harper as Vivian, Anthony's wife, Queen Walter as Renee, Anthony and Vivian's friend and the maid, Christine Porter as Miss Charlene, Ariel Miranda as Gia, Joel Rush as the police officer, Derek Morgan as Anthony, and Derek Morgan as Anthony, Tiffany Black as Anthony's mistress, and Joanne the scammer as herself. So, one of the things that, although I'm kind of glad that we didn't have to deal with another Halloween film, so we didn't have to deal with a Boo 3, which probably would have dealt with, like, say, some other nonsense if, oh, someone's getting pranked again. I'm just glad Tyler Perry didn't do it, Boo 3, now that I think about it. I like the Madea films, but I feel like it would have gotten old after, actually it got old after the second film. One thing I noticed, though, is, like, in the previous film, and also Boo 1 and 2, they had the dance scene. So, we have the return of the dance scene. And it starts off early, at 5 minutes into the film, and ends 11 minutes into the film. And it's only 11 minutes we spend in the dance scene. So, basically the movie stops for 11 minutes for Tyler Perry to have a comedy moment where he wants to go off on all of his other characters that he portrays. So yeah, the Aunt Bam's legal card joke returns. Yeah, because it's funny. It was funny the first time, but then Tyler Perry thought, this joke keeps on getting laughs. I gotta keep using it. There's a sequence in this film, but then again, I don't recall what happened back in, I think this film came out in February of 2019. I can't remember, like, if anything, but, yeah, Tyler Perry was in this film, he was wanting to do commentary on, like, officers harassing black people in cars. And I gotta say, it did not age well. I mean, it okay. Like if I like back like last year, kind of funny, but nowadays, mm. But then again, I'm not sure if it would. I don't really know if it would be considered funny nowadays. There's there's a character named AJ. So I mean, like the family, who everyone's related to Maydea, everyone, and it's like say, heck, it could even be said that might be even little Bow Wow could be related to Maydea if Tyler Perry said, I want to put Bow Wow in one of my movies. Can we do that? I feel like he would do that. There's a sequence in, that's my cats. Yeah. There's a sequence, like, say, like, most of the characters, like, whether it's Carol, Jesse, Vivian, and Renee, and, trying to think, yeah, they're all trying to get ready for, say, an anniversary of Anthony and, Vivian. Basically, it's their anniversary, and so basically, like, a few sequences, we get some shenanigans with a new character played by Tyler Perry, whose name is Heathrow, and he's basically a Vietnam War vet. He lost his legs, and he basically smoked too much and has one of those voice boxes where he has to talk that way. But then again, it feels like it's just another version of Joe. Like where he can't talk, where he's just having to use that thing to talk. There is this sequence where, like, say, we're told, like, say, hey, I think it's Jesse, who is saying like, he's on his sister, like, say, hey, I got a new fiance, and then I'll bring her to the anniversary party. And then what happens is, we go to a scene transition, where it's revealed that his, spoilers, before you, what happens is, the brother, whose name is AJ, we get to a scene transition where it's revealed that that him and his brother's fiance are cheating, but then again, and the next room, like, he's saying, like, say, shh, can you hear that? Like, because the walls are so thin in this hotel that he can hear his own father from his breathing noise from his sex sounds, and he's just like, okay, like, Tyler Perry, I've got to ask you, what person is able to recognize their parent from the sex sounds? I mean, yeah, I know they cast me out, I'm sorry. I don't want them to get stuck under the bed. They're still kittens. I don't want them to get stuck under there. But what I was trying to say was, yes, one of the his name is Jesse. He ends up hearing his father through the wall in the next room from the daddy's sex sounds. And yeah, how does that work? Like who exactly would go to the doors and just, like, say, I would, like, try to hear the parents, like Tyler Perry, I don't think people do that. I don't think people go to their parents' door and just, like, listen while their parents are doing things. I don't think I don't think people do that. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a sequence where Hattie, she tries like so they see Medea and them all at the same hotel where Anthony is cheating on his wife, and then he ends up choking, and then he ends up getting a ball gag stuck in his mouth, and Hattie, oh, she's just so that crazy old Hattie. Instead of trying to give him mouth to mouth from his mouth, she tries to give him mouth to mouth through his junk. Oh. But one thing I was proud of Tyler Perry to do, he was able to get 3 of his characters. I think it was Brian, Joe, and Maydea, all in the same sequence, same shot. Was also able to do that with Heathrow and Maydea and Joe, I believe, at one point in the film, which is good. He and like his previous films, the Boo films, there was never there was shots in where it was like probably the car scenes, but it wasn't real. But it was mostly like sequences like when say someone was going to talk, he had the shot on that person. I mean, that's kind of what you do, but yeah. Oh yeah, the one thing I'm kind of glad though was that Hattie got the one F bomb in the movie, and like when Maydea is just trying to like say, "Shut up, Patty, shut up," and one thing I just found crazy is that the actor for AJ, who is Courtney Abreu, I gotta say this is overacting. I mean, then again, what he's given is a bit given. It works, but at the same time, it's just. I'm sorry about the cats. I gotta say it's kind of funny when we see Maydea dressed up like a witch at the funeral. There's a sequence and at the mortician where the Undertaker, when they say like, oh, he seems to be was enjoying himself. He was a happy man before he passed, and he's got a smile, and then they're having trouble closing the casket because maybe he was taking Viagra because they can't keep it down. There's the joke in the sequence in the funeral section, like some of the jokes are because you see in the chair whether all the girls knew Anthony or the long songs, like long choir songs. Because one thing Maydea wants to say, hey, this thing is sick. She pulls out a program book and says it. Let me give an example. She probably says it's about as thick as this, probably. And keep him. I know she didn't use a cookbook, but just use your sense of disbelief for a second there, okay? And then she says like, everyone getting 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and then the joke keeps on going. Say, everyone's tired. Like, and then some of the jokes is Heathrow and Joe just saying, yeah, we were players back in my day. He says like, yeah, I was playing too. I was playing too. I'll help you with that. Oh yeah, the casket driver who's bored. Like, there's a sequence where he's walking around, and sometimes he's going, and then he's laying on top of the car sleeping. I mean, one of the issues I did have with this film, mostly that the cop sequence. I mean, I suppose it was funny when I saw it, but looking back now, it just seems like I mean, I understand Tyler Perry was just trying to say, hey, and I don't know what he's trying to say. I feel like maybe he was trying to say, hey, if you just do what the cop says, you'll be okay. I don't know what he was trying to say. But, yeah. Like, it was funny, I suppose. But at the same time, I'm feeling like, with all this been going on, no, not anymore. It's not. And one other thing. This is the 11th Madea film. You know how it is, like, say, like, in most trilogy, like, say, films of a character, like, say, let me give an example. Say, Captain America in Avengers Endgame. Basically, his whole story wraps up because he goes to be with Peggy. Spoilers, I'm sorry. Or heck, even, Luke and spoiling again, and the last Jedi, the Rise of Skywalker, him and Leia become Force ghosts. In a franchise, you want there to be, say, a good send-off for a character. That does not include killing a character off. In a way, that means, like, say, you want to make sure, like, say, people understand that this is the final one of this franchise. One of the problems I feel with this ending, you don't, like, say, Tyler Perry was saying, this is the final Madea film, but you know the film made money, and it did. It made $74.8 million. Time will only tell before Tyler Perry decides to say, when he looks at his, when he decides to say, I've got my own studio, and, well, I mean, he does. He has his own compound. Apparently, it's bigger than Hollywood and all that. Some of the sequences he used for he used his new compound for when things like Boo 1, 2, or heck, even A Fall from Grace. If you want me to give my thoughts on that, just let me know. Maybe I'll watch that one. Not from Maydea, no. But, yeah, it doesn't really feel like the film had, like, say, like, you know, like, there wasn't, like, any, like, idea of, like, say, sequel baiting, but then again, we don't really give any, like, say, way of thinking that this is gonna be the last one. But then again, Tyler Perry said he really is done with the character, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like, say, suddenly, because it's not like, say, Madea goes anywhere, she's just outside, and then, because one of the whole themes of the film is, like, say, the sins of the father, not one, being like the, you know, children being like the father, and all that, and then, yeah, AJ's, he's a narcissistic cheater. He uses the excuse of, like, say, leave me alone, my daddy just died, as a way of saying, hey, I'm hiding because I'm cheating on my wife. And that's what yeah. So, the wife, his mother finds out and does, and, yeah, at the end of the film, she ends up going to Vegas because she meets a guy, and it's revealed to be, Mike Tyson, because I feel like, oh yeah, and two other actors that, Joan the Scammer, and also, Christina Porter as Miss Charlene. Apparently, she is a, like a internet character. I'm sorry, I didn't ever hear of her before, so I apologize. I don't want to just, and you know, but she was kind of funny. She was doing a good job with what she was given. I mean, all the actors did a pretty good job, but at the same time, sometimes the drama can be overbearing. And, one thing, if there's another Tyler Perry film, another Madea film, one thing I would love to see, but then again, just because I mean, I want to see what Tyler Perry would do, because with then again, he's got all these other films he wants to do, whether it's TV shows, because currently he's got let me see. Darn it, these tablets slow. Well, one thing I will say though is that he has been saying that he likes to get he's got a bunch of stories and like films that he's got ready to do. One thing, if he's gonna make another Madea film, I kind of would like to see him to do a film about the current climate, but then again, I kind of expect, like, if Tyler Perry does another Madea film, I kind of would like to see someone else write the character, so then he can give something new that is not. I mean, he can still have, like, say, final ideas of, say, okay, this is good. Oh, hey, I wouldn't have thought of this. Because one thing Tyler Perry likes to do is he likes to write his own material. But yeah, I kind of would like to. I mean, I know I might be a very crazy person, but I kind of like to see. This would be a crazy thing, but I kind of would like to see Tyler Perry, Madea's Hawaiian vacation. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool, or like Maydea the bodyguard, where she has to bodyguard. I mean, they probably did something like that in witness protection. But I kind of like to see a Madea film where she has to be put in an action scenario. But yeah, I'm kind of glad there isn't any new Madea films lately. But then again, this just came out last year. But what are your thoughts of Madea's Madea family funeral? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Put your thoughts in comments down below. Let me know. And as always, everyone be safe out there. If you're going to a protest, be safe. Wear a mask. And just be careful. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I love you all. And stay strong. Bye-bye.